there are a lot of handsome, in shape, and financially well-off guys that are terrible when it comes to A, attracting women, but B, retaining the interest of a woman that they really want to be with. And the fundamental reason for that, from my personal observation, is due to the way they carry themselves, their energy, their demeanor. They exhibit weak behaviors that repel women. And I'm going to name a few that I believe are probably the most common weak behaviors that men engage in to really repel women. But this is not something that guys really focus on. They're just focused on money, status, and fitness, which are all fantastic things to focus on, and you should. But if time and time again you just keep losing women, when I say losing women, I mean your retention rate is crap, right? Or you notice that the vibe is just, it shifts very quickly. Maybe initially they were interested, and then within a few days or a week or two, they just lose interest and ghost completely on you. There's a reason for that. And you need to dissect what that reason is so that you don't keep making the same mistakes. Because as we've all heard before, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing again and again and again, expecting different outcomes. Now, I want you to think about how you carry yourself in front of the women that you're trying to attract. A lot of guys, and this is typically the guys with money, they want to impress. They get into that pleasing mode where it's about my achievements and what position I hold in what company and my stock portfolio and the car that I have. Believe me, women don't care about cars as much as you think. Now, there are some gold diggers out there, of course. But the majority of women don't care what car you drive. They really don't. Now, as long as it's not infested with worms and fungus, and it's well maintained and it's well taken care of and it smells nice and it drives from A to B without any significant issues, then the majority of women will be okay with that. Now, if you have some mood lighting and some nice quirks and features, it always makes the experience a whole lot more pleasant for a woman, of course. Nice speakers, right? A sunroof. That makes a big difference, right? For selfies and pictures. But the majority don't really care. And when I see guys leading with the things that they own to try and impress women, it kind of cringes me out a little bit. Now, of course, there's a sense of pride that comes from driving a nice car. Don't get me wrong. I love my cars. But when you lead with the car, it's corny. Drive a nice car because you want to drive a nice car. But don't be talking about the stuff that you have, whether it's a car, whether it's your house that you live in, your watch. Women don't care. And when you lead with these things, you attract the wrong type of women. Ones that are like, oh, okay, so he's got this car, he's got this house. All right? And you don't want to attract the wrong kind of women into your life. So that's what I notice with the guys that are doing well off. They lead with the wrong things. They lead with their wallet. And women don't find that attractive. They will look at you as a paycheck, but they won't really respect you. And women can't love you if they don't respect you. Right? If they look at you like a loser with money, a nerd with money, they won't desire you in that way, in that sexual way. They won't desire you. They'll just look at you like a poor miskeen, as we say in Arabic, right? A poor fellow, a poor chap with a bit of money. So don't lead with your wallet. Don't try and impress and, my profits for this day, my profits for this week. Women don't care about that stuff. Just create a pleasant experience when you're around her. Book a nice table at a nice restaurant, or an experience, a safari or something, right? You want them to be associating you with a good time. A good time doesn't have to be an expensive time. There are women out there that will love to sit down with a guy and have a picnic. And for them, a picnic with a nice view on a beautiful summer's day is everything that they really dream of. Okay? There's another category of guys out there that, on the subject of money, that repel women away, and that's the guys with a scarcity mindset. Guys that are worried about money, about a woman costing him a bit of money. Now, let me tell you guys this. If you're dating a girl and you're struggling financially, it's not a good time to date. And you should probably back off until you get yourself in a little bit more of a stable financial position to explore dating somebody again. Now, once again, we're not saying you have to go out there and invest or spend, thousands of pounds on lavish experiences. But if you're going to be telling a girl to split a $42 bill with you at a restaurant, I mean, it's not good. She's going to look at you and think, this poor guy, already he's struggling, and he wants to potentially make me his, long-term girlfriend or wife or something. It's not good. Now, look, it doesn't take 7 years to turn your life around financially. Maybe you just need to get a job, because right now you're in between jobs and you're dating women and you can't afford to be taking them to nice places. Just get a job, or maybe get a better paying job if you're struggling with the job that you have right now. But there is nothing sexually attractive to a woman when you say, go 50-50 with me. It just pushes women away. Now, look, it should be within you, gentlemen, to want to provide a fun experience for a woman. To see a woman happy and smiling and being all girly, and feminine, because the man's taking responsibility for this fun occasion that we're on. It's a beautiful thing to see. It's a beautiful thing to see. If you had a daughter one day, or maybe for those of you watching that do have daughters, you'd want her to be with a man that takes good care of her, that treats her well. She's your daughter. She's your blood. You don't want her going out with a guy that says, I'll pay $17.55, you pay. If I was the dad and I had a daughter, I'd be like, why are you seeing this bum? And it's not because I'm money orientated, but the guy's clearly not ready. And I don't want my daughter to have to chip in for a cheap meal. If it was the guy's decision to take her out, he pays. Yeah, it's things like this. You could be a handsome guy. You could be in shape. But you make mistakes in these areas and you'll lose a potentially good woman for you. And then guys will get upset because the woman will be like, no, I don't want to date a guy who's not financially ready. And guys will get offended. And they'll start attacking the girl and start saying things like, oh, you're just money orientated. No, she isn't. She just doesn't want to pay $23 on a date with you when it was your idea to take her out. Why should she go 50-50 with you? It's got nothing to do with her being money orientated. Honestly, man. Look, the boys do that with each other, right? If we go out or something and, we have a nice meal, we can split the meal between us. It is what it is, right? Now, typically with me and my friends, if I'm just going out with, one of my friends or two of my friends, I might just cover the whole bill. Next time, one of the other guys gets it. We don't do this. Oh, can we please? I don't want to sit here calculating. I just getting the calculators out. I just find it, cringes me out. So I'll cover this one. Next time you get me, but I'm not keeping tally. I'm not like, well, I paid for the last. We don't do that in my friendship group. Okay. So that's the money side. The other side is the insecurity side, which is where a guy is worried about who a woman is speaking to. And the reason why you're worried is because A, you feel that she is way above your league. So you feel like, oh my God, she's going to leave me any minute now because she's just so much better than me. Whenever you put someone on a pedestal, they look down on you. So the fact that you see her as just so much better than you are is a problem. The other thing is that you believe other men are better than you, which is also a pathetic, weak energy. Now, look, there might be dudes out there that are in better shape than you, that make more money than you. That is definitely true. However, you should not showcase fear that she will abandon you and jump ship and go to somebody else. If you are worried that she'll go to somebody else, she probably will. If you don't give a shit, and when I say don't give a shit, I mean you want her to be in your life, but you're not going to force somebody that doesn't want to be here to stay. I will not force you to eat at my table. If you want to go somewhere else, you're more than welcome to. Because I believe in me and I believe in what I have to offer as a man. I'm confident in me and my capabilities. So I'm not going to worry about a woman going to another guy. It is what it is. Right? But being worried, oh my God, but what if she, stalking her Instagram profile to see who she's following recently, and that's weak. Don't be doing that. Now, I want you guys, don't get me wrong, I want you guys to have strong boundaries. For example, me, myself, when I get married, I don't want my wife following other dudes on Instagram or Snapchat or any of these other silly platforms, right? You're with me. You're with Mr. Ben-Hariz. You don't need to be following some other dudes and what they're doing, watching their highlights and stuff. Why? Now, some may call that misogynistic and controlling. It's just a boundary I have. If a woman doesn't want to do that, she doesn't have to, but she just won't be with me. So those are my firm boundaries. If I make these boundaries clear and I notice that a woman isn't respecting my boundaries, then I will cut off the interaction. Okay, but I'm not going to go into a fresh interaction with somebody fearful. Oh my God, but what if she suddenly stops? If she suddenly stops and disappears off the face of the earth? Ain't nothing I can do. It is what it is. Okay? But asking her, who are you talking to right now? Who are you talking to? Who's this guy? Yeah, that's weak behavior. That is weak. Okay, so look, watch what a woman does. Don't pay attention to what she says. She may tell you, hey, this is this, that. If you see very obvious red flags and you've communicated that to her and she proceeds anyways, then just walk away. Okay? You can still enforce a boundary in a non-insecure way. You can still enforce it in a way that comes across, polite and masculine. Okay? And it's important to do that. So you attract the right people into your life, not people that are there just to take advantage of you and waste your time. Gentlemen, let me tell you this. When it comes to dating, there's nothing worse than wasted time. I don't want you to walk into random interactions with women and have them waste your time. And sometimes you're wasting her time. You're not the right fit for each other from the get-go. If you know what, this ain't really going to go anywhere from day one, I'm just not even going to open that conversation. It takes a lot of discipline to do that because guys are guys. We like girls. And just being in feminine company is a nice thing. And sometimes, even if somebody, you're never going to marry them, sometimes a lot of guys would still just have regular encounters with this woman and take her out and stuff just for the sake of company, but not really ever planning on being with her. And I don't like that. I don't like that. So don't go into an interaction like that, lead a woman on. And at the same time, don't be that guy that is being led on. You know, that guy that she gives false hope to and she replies 2 or 3 days late to and says, oh, sorry, I was asleep for 3 days. Or, you know, I needed a break. Meanwhile, she's posting on her stories. You're an afterthought. I don't ever want you guys to be that guy who she gets back to when she has a bit of time. Low priority. That signals low interest. She's not that keen on you, and she will manufacture excuses that sound reasonable to not break your heart or not upset you. Okay? For the guy that she really wants, she's available. She's replying on time. She doesn't play games. But for the guy that she's not really keen on, she will give him mixed signals, hot and cold. Sometimes she texts him back quickly, but then there are times where it takes her 4 days. But she's posting on her stories. It just means you're not a priority. For a guy that she really wants, she's there. She makes herself available. Even if she's not available in the moment, she will say, hey, let me get back home, I'll call you. She will take you as a priority, and that's the kind of woman that you want to have in your life, gentlemen. A woman who respects your time, respects your presence in her life, okay, is keen to make an effort. Okay, so guys, I just wanted to share some of these things which I've observed. Your energy, pay attention to it, how you're showing up. It's not all about your money and how ripped you are and how many people follow you on Instagram. It's not about any of that stuff. It's your energy. What your dynamic is like when you're with this woman. Okay? So thanks for watching. If you have anything that you want to share down below, make sure you drop it in the comments section, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.